Well, hello there. Ho, ho, ho. Do I have another story for you? And this one is called the Nutcracker. And now, the Nutcracker is also a ballet that you may see around the Christmas time every year. So let's go ahead. The Nutcracker, retold by Rita Balducci, illustrated by Barbara Lanza. Once there was a little girl named Clara whose family was having a wonderful party on Christmas Eve. There was a beautiful Christmas tree and lots of delicious food. Clara ran back and forth to the front door to welcome the guests. "Merry Christmas," she said as each one kissed her on the cheek. They all went inside to dance and eat and open their Christmas presents. Oh, and I'll just show you what she looks like when she's at the front door. The last to arrive was Clara's godfather, Herr Drosselmeyer. All the children loved him very much because he was such a wonderful storyteller. Clara thought he could even perform magic. "Merry Christmas, Clara," he said, handing her a heavy package. "Merry Christmas and thank you," Clara cried, lifting a large wood nutcracker from the wrappings. "He looks like a very brave soldier," she said. "And so he is," Herr Drosselmeyer replied. Just then the musicians began to play a lively tune, and all the grown-ups joined together to dance. Clara carried her nutcracker over to where her cousins and friends were all playing with their new dolls. She held him very carefully and hummed a soft Christmas carol. All of a sudden, Clara's little brother, Fritz, jumped up from behind the sofa and grabbed the nutcracker away from his sister. "Someone's being naughty." "No, Fritz, no!" Clara cried, chasing him. Soon all the children were running after Fritz. But the nutcracker was very heavy and Fritz was a very little boy. The nutcracker crashed to the floor and broke. Sadly, Clara picked up her injured nutcracker and showed him to Herr Drosselmeyer. "Why, Clara," he said, tying his handkerchief around the nutcracker's broken jaw, "many good soldiers get hurt in battle. This will be his bandage and you will be his nurse." And he wiped her tears away and handed the nutcracker back to her. Claire was a very good little girl. She gently tucked the nutcracker into the doll's bed she had received as a Christmas present. She stayed by his side until all the guests had gone home. Then she kissed him good night and went to bed. But Clara could not stop thinking about her nutcracker. So back downstairs she crept and lifted him from the little bed. Then she curled up on the sofa and fell asleep with the nutcracker in her arms. While Clara was sleeping, Herr Drosselmeyer came into the room. He quickly took a handkerchief off the nutcracker's jaw and gently waved it over Clara and the nutcracker. Suddenly, the nutcracker changed into a handsome prince, standing guard over Clara while she slept. Later that night, Clara woke up. "Oh my goodness," she cried, for tremendous mice were running all over the room. Then she saw her nutcracker, who was now a handsome prince. He was bravely fighting a mouse that was wearing a crown on its head. "Leave him alone," Clara shouted at the wicked mouse. She jumped off the sofa and pulled the mouse's long tail. The mouse became so frightened that it ran away with all the other mice squeaking after it. "Thank you for your help," said the prince, picking up the crown which had fallen from the mouse's head. "I would like to invite you to the land of sweets so all my friends can thank you too." The prince placed the crown upon Clara's head and her nightgown became a beautiful dress that sparkled and shimmered. Together they stepped outside. The falling snow whisked around them in the pretty white dance, carrying them to the land of the sweets. Everyone living in the land of sweets was named after delicious things to eat. When the prince and Clara arrived, he told his friends all about the battle with the huge mouse or mice, and how Clara had saved him. "Hooray for Clara!" they all shouted. Then they carried Clara and the prince over to two beautiful candy cane chairs. I like candy canes. Oh, oh, oh. The people of the land of sweets performed beautiful dances for Clara and the prince. The first to perform were candy canes wearing red stripes. Then a dainty sugar plum fairy danced with the soldier. The dewdrop fairy gracefully twirled before them, followed by many angels with tiny wings. Even the flowers danced in the lands of sweets, waving their pretty petals. Clara's favorite dancer was Mother Ginger. She wore a big wide skirt, and underneath it were 6 little children. They raced out and took each other's hands, dancing together in a circle, laughing and skipping. When their turn was over, they scrambled back under Mother Ginger's wide skirt. When all the dancers were finished, Clara and the prince stood up and clapped and clapped. There they are dancing around. "I think it's time for us to go," the prince said, "but we will come back to the land of sweets every Christmas Eve from now on." And then he called for his sleigh, which was drawn by 2 reindeer. After waving goodbye to their friends, Clara and the prince flew off together into the early morning sky, home to a very Merry Christmas. Oh, 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 2 reindeer. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed that story. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.